These questions are difficult because there's a lot to sort through, especially this one's a longer paragraph and I think a more complicated sentence. But we're always going to approach them the same way and hope for the best. The best case scenario is that when we look at sentence 2, there's some sort of anchor word or phrase or something that really simplifies the sentence for us and gives us something to think about as we read the rest of the paragraph and try to, place the sentence somewhere. So let's go to sentence 2 first and try to read it. So it is right here. Though the price for her tickets was higher than that of tickets for comparable shows, it was still affordable to most theatergoers and reflected the real cost of the performance. I'd be looking for some sort of contrast for the previous sentence or, some sort of transition-y word that tells me what came before. But I'm not really picking up on that. I know the word though is there, but the though is clearly referring to what comes later in this very sentence. So the contrast is within the sentence itself. So that's not really helping me. I don't have any strong anchors here. What I will highlight though is maybe the best dumb summary I can come up with. The price was higher, yeah, but it was still affordable. Okay, so there's some sort of, I don't know. Yeah, there's the contrast, right? It's high price, but it's affordable. So there's something there that maybe can help us. Now, though, what I'm going to look for is, as I read the paragraph, I'm looking to see maybe there's a gap. Maybe there's a place where the logic of the sentences is broken, and I want to insert this to get clarity. So let's see what I can find here. I'm going to skip over sentence 2. I'm not going to read it because I don't know where it's going to go. One innovative playwright has woven the deficiencies of the system into her crowdfunding model. So maybe deficiencies goes with price being higher? I don't know. She presented the total cost for producing her play on a crowdfunding site. Okay, so cost is coming up. Then she divided the total cost by the number of people she expected to attend the performance. So then is telling me that this sentence clearly follows this sentence. So we're talking about how she comes up with the cost, right? The total cost divided. The result of the calculation was the minimum donor price, and only donors who paid at least the minimum ticket price were allowed to attend the performance. By subverting the presumption that money used for her project is an altruistic donation, the playwright showed that our work has monetary value to those who enjoy it. Okay. It's very hard to understand, but they're talking about, this is kind of like by subverting, this is like another result. Yeah, they're talking about this cost thing a lot. Let's see what our options are. So where it is now, I don't think makes a lot of sense. Because this also, if I start to think about what I read before in new light, right? Think about the paragraph. Though the price for her tickets was higher, this also sounds very result-like. So that tells me it shouldn't go where it is now because we haven't done the calculations yet. So sentence 1 is kind of introducing what she's doing, the model, and then sentence 3 is starting the process of explaining it, right? So I don't want to get to the result before I've started explaining what I'm doing. So where it is now makes no sense. And I think for that reason, after sentence 3 also doesn't make sense because we're still describing the process. She presented the total cost, then she divided the total cost, right? So there's a sequence here, and that's another thing to think about with these sentence placement questions, is it's great to know places where our sentence would fit. We also have to be careful that when we place our sentence somewhere, we don't break apart other sentences that are supposed to stay together, and so this would be a bad placement because it would break apart the connection between sentence 3 and 4. Let's keep going. Then she divided the total cost by the number of people she expected to attend the performance. The result of the calculation, well, it sounds like this needs to follow here because dividing is a calculation word, and then we're talking right about the calculation. And so that kind of leaves me with D. I don't know that I would definitely have known this instantly. I don't think I did, but it kind of fits. The result of the calculation was the minimum donor price, and only donors who paid at least the minimum ticket price were allowed to attend the performance. Though the price, so we're talking about the price, for her tickets was higher than that of tickets of comparable shows, it was still affordable to most theatergoers and reflected the real cost of the performance. By subverting the presumption that money used for her project is an altruistic donation, the playwright showed that our work has monetary value to those who enjoy it. I honestly don't feel strongly about sentence 6. It just seems kind of like, not random, but it doesn't seem like it flows from anything else that came before it. But I have no choice here, right? Two has got to have to go after sentence 5. And so this felt a lot more kind of like a strategy that we use for the reading section a lot, right? Like more like process of elimination. Where, a lot of times when we do these writing questions, I have a clear sense of what my answer choice should be. I get a dumb summary that's really great. I know exactly where my answer is going to go because I've done the work ahead of time of planning out the question and thinking through what I'm being asked. Here we did that. But we didn't get good answers, right? We got kind of vague understandings of what's going on, and that's okay. Notice we didn't panic. That doesn't mean that we're in trouble. It just means that the result or the end of our question, the end of our solution might be more of this kind of like, well, what's the best answer or what isn't wrong? And that's okay. We're allowed to do that. We do it in the reading section all the time, and it slips into writing and math from time to time too on questions that are kind of hard. So don't panic when your process for solving a question breaks down, okay? You're not done. You just are going to maybe have to think a little differently, and that's what the SAT is all about, right? We have a set process that works 85% of the time, and then that's okay when the 15% of time that it fails because we've saved time and we've gained a confidence and we know we can handle that 15% no problem. And, that's how you get a good score.